The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
It's showtime.
It is showtime here, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Circle Debate Podcast, episode 125, 125, señoras y señores, bienvenido a Circle del Debate. The host of TV is one I even see. And yes, I know I'm not dressed up, but you can tell, but it's, I'm Al Borden, all right? There you go. I have the beard, I have the hair, but not brown hair, but I do have the flannel. So I am Al Borden here. The assistant, of course, for home improvement. There you go. Because I'm the assistant of this man right here, because he is what a rush. What a rush. That is right, because this man does not need anything but this.
Hey, Doc, we better back up. We don't have enough road to get up to 88.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
This man does not need any roads, ladies and gentlemen, because he takes you to the past, to the present, and sometimes maybe to the future. And that is right, Mr. What a Rush over here. And yes, the Legion of Dinero. That is right.
I like
the
that.
Legion of Dinero is here.
Mm-hmm.
And that is Mike Dinero.
Dom is always coming up with the best names.
Yes, he does.
Yep.
Mr. DeLorean himself, ladies and gentlemen. What is going on, Dinero?
I'm doing good, man. Mr. No Roads Needed, Mr. DeLorean, Mike De Niro. I'm glad to be here. Glad to talk some wrestling and glad to have this special Halloween edition of the Circle of Debate.
That is right. It's going to be absolutely. It is going to be a spooktacular episode today, ladies and gentlemen. But before we get into it, like I said, once again, we want to go ahead and thank our sponsors, the Wrestling Guys Store. And also do not forget, ladies and gentlemen, manscaped.com, promo code DeLorean, get 20% off of any merchandise. You want to keep those balls clean. You want to make sure that everything is nice and smooth and silky smooth. And also, any other products that you can purchase at manscaped.com, promo code DeLorean, ladies and gentlemen. Capitalize DeLorean, and you get 20% off of all your Manscaped merchandise for all of you audio platform listeners. And of course, do not forget as well, we have our new merchandise courtesy of the Legion of Miss Dinero. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you purchase your very own Circle Debate Halloween logo design courtesy of Miss DeLorean. That is right. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you purchase it. Click on our link bio LINKTREE, and go to our merchandise store and purchase your very own Circle of Debate coffee mug of the Halloween design, the pillow, and also the t-shirt that we have, men and women's and long sleeves. That is right.
I could tell you that Ms. De Niro worked really hard on that logo, so definitely go support and cop the Halloween edition of the Circle Debate. And yeah, Ivan's better dressed than I am.
I don't know how I'm Al Borden, for God's sakes, damn it. So
what up, Nick?
What's going on, Mr. Universal Wrestling Podcast himself, Nick, the Leader, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure to subscribe to them as well as Top Rope Wrestle Talk. Subscribe. Thank you guys for tuning in. Definitely. Let us get into it. Before we get into anything else, I want to get into very quick recap of Raw. I want to speak about, everything was going on. And of course, and I'm speaking of Nikki Ash, and also with, the OC and the Judgment Day, who was going to be the female representative, helping them with Rhea Ripley. And you heard Dom, I'm the second generation star of Eddie Guerrero. And when he said that, this is where I was.
Hey, what the fuck?
What? Yeah.
I cannot believe this shit.
Yeah, I can't believe it either. He said that. You're not a second generation, by the way. You're not. You're not of Eddie Guerrero's. Not at all. Sorry, Mr. Dom Mysterio. But I want to talk about Nikki Cross. No more Nikki Ash is gone. We've been seeing the tease for the last couple of weeks. We've been seeing the transformation of Nikki going back to the old. Can we see the old school Nikki Cross of NXT Zero? Can we see that?
I fucking hope so. I mean, I'll tell you this right now. I've been very adamant about how much I did not like the Nikki ASH character for a long time. I really feel like Nikki ASH just, just corny as fuck. You know, that's little kid shit. Like that screams Vince McMahon's idea. Even though I know it's her idea, before people go in the comments like, oh, Nikki came up with that idea. Listen, it still screams straight out of the Vince McMahon playbook. I loved Nikki Cross in NXT. I loved her, her time with Sanity and how she was just an insane mad woman. And I hope that we get that again because that's the best character that she could play, in my opinion.
Absolutely. I agree with that. And I would love to see her and also seeing Piper Niven. I'm not going to call her Dewdrop because it doesn't belong to me. It's just like, I'd rather have them as that type of Sanity team that we wanted. A while back when Sanity went to the main roster, I thought we were going to have all of them coming up and then all of them, creating impact there. But I mean, but yes, I mean, hopefully we do, hopefully we'll see. I mean, we'll see what happens with Piper Niven. And then, and then with the OC, I don't know who's going to be that who should be a mystery woman partner for them. A lot of people speculating. Everybody's speculating. Woo! It's coming up. Everybody is saying it. The Queen may be returning and joining the OC on this one. And do you agree with that pick, or who would you rather have to be with the OC?
I definitely would agree with Charlotte because there's ties between Charlotte and AJ Styles. And I think that it would be cool seeing Charlotte and Rhea go back at it again in this capacity where Charlotte's a babyface and with the OC to go against the Judgment Day. But the only thing that doesn't make sense is it would make more sense for the female to be Beth Phoenix because wouldn't Beth Phoenix want revenge on Rhea Ripley for that concerto back at the pay-per-view? So I think that if it's Charlotte, that's awesome. She's been out for a while, and I would love to see her back. I also want to see Beth Phoenix get in there and mix it up with Rhea Ripley. I just don't see Beth Phoenix coming back without Edge. So it's going to be interesting. There's not many choices because there's not many people that fit with that OC team. Like, as much as I talk about how much I love Liv Morgan, when Liv Morgan was throwing up the Too Sweet with AJ Styles and Finn Balor, that shit did not look right. So there's not many women that could fit in it, but I feel like Charlotte could be that girl. And shout out to Dom too. He said, thank you, De Niro. I've been saying that from the jump. It was her idea to impress Vince to keep her job after he fired her man. Yeah, she had to dumb her character down to impress the old man, which is horrible. But the old man is gone, so let's get rid of that shitty-ass character. And I just want to say I agree with what you said, too. WWE dropped the ball fucking horribly when it came to Sanity coming up to the main roster.
Yeah, definitely big time. We'll just, we'll see what happens, with next week, because for sure next week we will be giving up predictions for Crown Jewel because it's coming soon. It's coming. Yes, all right, let's jump on now with the debut of course, Simone Johnson, better known as Ava Raine. That she made her debut on NXT with the group Schism. I thought it was going to be Marco Stunt because they don't look like a female to me for a minute. I saw that hood. I'm like, wait, it can't be a female. It looks very, very short. I mean, I don't know if she's the same height as Marco Stunt. I mean, all due respect, Marco, if you're watching this. But, I mean, I did not expect, her to actually make her debut. Biggest question is, what's her future is going to look like in the in-ring performance? We did see, if you recall way back, that little video of her training with her father, giving her pointers to Rock Johnson. And I heard the bitching and whining of Seltzer and piece of shit Alvarez that they acknowledged that it's the Rock's daughter. They didn't mention that at all. And it's just another, regular person in making a debut in NXT. I can say I agree with them on that point. They should at least make a reference. Hey, this is the Rock's daughter, and I'm assuming that they're assuming that everybody should know that by now. But of course, we do know. However, we should, in order to get eyes on the product. Hey, this is Dwayne the Rock Johnson, the biggest star in Hollywood right now.
Black Adam.
Black Adam. Shout out to Black Adam. I need to see it, though.
Hell yeah.
I heard it was good. But man, your thoughts of Ava Rain's debut and her future, and what are your expectations for Ava Rain on NXT?
Judging from what I've seen her in like training, I mean, I don't know much about what she could do in ring, but I'm excited. If you come from that family, I'm really excited for you. But especially being The Rock's daughter, I think it's cool that they debuted her like this, and I'm happy that they didn't mention right away that that's The Rock's daughter. Maybe, we always do that. I think that it's time for WWE to let their second or third generation wrestlers carve their own path before you really shove down their throats that they're the daughter or the son of somebody. Look at what they did with Charlotte. We've seen Ric Flair how many fucking times with Charlotte, and it got to the point where it was nauseating. So I think that let her carve her own path and her own legacy. She doesn't have to be The Rock's daughter. She could be the first Ava Rain, because if they're really pushing that she's The Rock's daughter, everybody's going to expect a female Rock, and she's not out there doing the eyebrows. She's not out there, talking to the millions and millions. She's trying to be a different character and do her own thing. So, especially for Schism as well, it doesn't fit them to announce that team has any ties to The Rock. So I like the way they did this. It's definitely different. And maybe down the line, when she's, a little bit more polished and stuff, I think that's when you could introduce The Rock, or you could have her, talk about that. I just want her to be her own female, her own woman, and have her own path.
I can agree with that. In a certain way, I can agree. But still, I would kind of mention, I hear Dom's comments. Why did they do that? We know who she is. We know Braun is a Steiner. Just fucking go with it. What Braun is different because Braun Breaker's a horrible fucking name. When he was Rex Steiner, that's fire, bro. I don't know why they didn't run with that shit. Yeah, I have no idea why they did not run with that. They should have run with that. That would have been great to see. But I mean, at the end of the day, we need to see what her in-ring skills will be when she makes her in-ring debut in NXT. We got to see what she's going to bring to the table. I want to hear her on the mic. I haven't, I need to see what she's all about. So now it got me invested. Now I'm able to go ahead and say, I want to see what now Simone Johnson's going to bring to the table now that she's on a national, television platform. And this is her opportunity to create her own entity as she's doing that, and to see how she's going to develop. This is where we're going to test to see if she was even ready or not to be on television and ready to be in the ring on television. That's the biggest question. But she's like, Ava Rain is a
yes, it's like you got to have a porn name generator or some shit online.
You know what? I can't disagree more, man. It is.
I mean, never mind. I was going to say, I think there actually is a porn star named Ava Rain, but I'm not going to reveal here how much I know about the porn world. That this is a family show.
This is a TVMA show, ladies and gentlemen. So, yes. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and jump onto the next topic here. This is the one that is very intriguing. Billy Corgan had a recent interview.
Smashing Pumpkins.
Yes. So his recent interview was discussing in regards for having NWA to be a developmental program for WWE or for AEW. I guess he had a conversation with Triple H in regards for that. The conversation didn't go anywhere. So I for sure that Triple H was not interested. But taking such taking an old-fashioned golden shower story in the thing. Oh my God. Love it. Let's see. I think we sort of just did the and of course, I mean, Billy Corgan making those comments of having having a family, a pre-family owned, a generational, where it all started, organization for the Ric Flairs, the Dustys, the Wyndhams, the Ricky Steamboats, to become a developmental program. Do you agree with that, or do you feel like this should not even Billy Corgan shouldn't even dare to put foot on, in talks with either one of these promotions to become a developmental. He mentioned the reason why he mentioned that because a lot of the stars in the roster, mainly AEW, are not getting their television time. Yeah. So he's more commenting, okay, come on this side. I'll put you on. Don't worry.
They're just trying to capitalize off AEW's issue, though. That's not active for like a developmental.
It's the same shit because you're going to be on YouTube. You're going to be, I mean, that's where they're at. They're on YouTube, and I don't know if they're on Twitch or anything.
Fight. They're on Fight.
They're on Fight. And then they'll do Fight, pay-per-views on Fight TV, but that's mainly it. You don't have an actual pay-per-view like a BR Live or anything like that. I don't know. I mean, I want to get your thoughts, though. I mean, is this a good idea? Should they be their own entity? Should be more focused on, keep developing, rebranding the NWA, what it was originally, the concept years ago, and continue with that, and not worry to be a developmental? I mean, give us your take on it.
The way I see it is, first of all, the NWA, they have been known as, the longest running wrestling promotion. The NWA was the main competitor to the WWF back in the early 80s, the 70s. And even like when NWA was a part of TNA, they were still competing with the WWE and the WWF. So I think that it would bastardize the name of NWA and the history behind the NWA being the company that went against the WWF by making them the WWE developmental. Also, the NWA is known for having, some of their talents being older and also making their last stops, I would say, in their career in the NWA. Look at someone like Trevor Murdoch, who probably is not going to really be wrestling much other places, but fits in the NWA because of that old school style. I think that works well for them. They have a niche with them being an old school style promotion in the modern day. And it's just sad to see that, a couple of years ago, there was so much excitement behind NWA Power when it first started. And now it's like you want to be the developmental for WWE or AEW, just keep on pushing the NWA. Billy Corgan sounded like when he first bought this company and he showed that this was going to be his own entity, he was going to bring back prestige to the NWA. I don't think you bring back prestige to the NWA by being the developmental to WWE or AEW. I think that NWA needs to focus on being the NWA. I think that this is disguised for maybe hard times, no pun intended, for the NWA. And I just hope that Billy Corgan still has, passion for this shit.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I feel he does have passion for it. I think it's just like how you mentioned, like it's really about more just taking advantage of the stars that he doesn't have. I mean, the reason I feel like he mentioned that because of the takes like Ricky Starks, like Eli Drake. Who else could he mentioned another female's name? I'm trying to remember who else did he mention in the female version.
Camille's all over the place now.
Well, that's his number one star in NWA as the women's champion. But he did mention one female. Oh, Thunder Rosa. There you go. Thunder Rosa. I mean, I get it. I understand that, you help them to become a star at some sort of credentials. I'll give you that because you expose them on the internet world. I mean, I mean that I'll correct them and commend them for that. But I mean, it's a double-edged sword, to be honest. But I really more rather have him to focus more on rebranding the product and making it his own entity and not worry about anybody else and just worried about yourself. Worried about making NWA what it's supposed to be back in the childhood days. Well, you can say for me, and towards everybody else in my prior generation, what it was years ago. And I mean,
when my childhood days, NWA was NWA TNA, and that was a whole different product. But I'll tell you what, Billy Corgan doesn't want his wrestlers going to other companies. Pay him better. That's it. Pay him more. That's all you can say. You cannot complain if you're not paying them better than what they could get elsewhere. If they could have better opportunities to feed their family elsewhere, you can't be mad at that. So, I mean, if you want wrestlers to stay on in your company and on your roster, pay them better.
Well, I mean, the only thing he would need to do is actually look for an investor. That's what he needs to do. Find someone who's willing to invest on the company. But I know that Billy Corgan wants to be the one. No, I'm the one who's going to call the shots. Yeah, I'll still make that role. I mean, you can sell that, but they're going to, if you know, you got to pitch them to sell why they should invest on NWA.
Yeah.
That's the biggest question. How are you going to pitch that to an investor to put money into a product that, you know, could be, I would not say would be at the level of where AEW, WWE, head maybe to the level of Impact, maybe.
I don't even think they're on that level. I don't even think they're, to be honest, if you're asking me, like, I like the NWA, but I don't even think they're on MLW's level. I think that NWA, they need to continue to brand it as nostalgia style wrestling. They need to continue to brand it as old school style wrestling in the modern day, because that's what was the niche. You know what I mean? Yes. The more you bring in guys that are just because they're popping right now, like Matt Cardona, as much as a fan of I am of Matt Cardona, these are guys that are not fitting. You need to keep on branding it as the old school style in the modern day. And I feel like, you know, there would be a national network channels that would bite on that, because all you have to do is pitch the history. You know what I mean? You could go to I don't know, any fucking channel like a Viacom and say, hey, this is the company that brought you Ric Flair and the Four Horsemen and Sting and Dusty Rhodes and Harley Race and Terry Funk and the Briscoe brothers. You know, you could pitch that to them. You could have the history of it. You could show, like, if NWA Power, when NWA Power first started, I think that they could have easily took that show and pitched it to a TV channel and got it on TV, because there was a lot of buzz behind it. It had that old school feel. Like, I don't know. I don't know like what was behind the scenes going on, but I just feel like a lot changed. You know, I know there was the whole speaking out movement, right? And the speaking out movement did hurt them because they lost Dave Lagana, who I forgot what was his allegations, but Dave Lagana was a big piece of the production side of NWA.
Oh, and, absolutely.
Yeah, losing Dave Lagana was a big piece. Yeah. Losing Jim Cornette, as much as people hate him, Jim Cornette made that stupid remark on the show and made them look really bad, because it looked so Bush League, because it was a taped show and they put it out taped, and then they want to apologize and take off the show. If you knew he said some shit that was going to get him in trouble, you could have edited out. You know what I mean? It was already taped. You didn't have to have that play out on fucking YouTube and then embarrass yourself. So I feel like those were the little like missteps and roadblocks that actually made NWA go backwards instead of forwards.
Yeah, I agree. That was the major cause. I mean, that affected them, was losing those, you know, top tier guys. But you know, Corny's corny, man. He's old school. You know, he doesn't think. He forgot that we're living in a society that anything you say is very, very sensitive, and you have to be careful of what you say. I mean, I know you want to do it to get publicity for your fans, but that's not the way how you do it, buddy. No.
Same the 80s.
Yeah,
I would love to have Jim Cornette on the fucking podcast. I think me and Jim Cornette would have well, we probably wouldn't get along at all. Never mind.
Yeah, I don't think I would get along with Jim. Jim and I, we don't see eye to eye a lot of things.
He's only like, what do you know about wrestling? Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you,
motherfucker. You Bugs Bunny looking motherfucker. Yeah. Let's see what Nick had to say from the Universal Wrestling Podcast. Billy shouldn't have said anything in publicity. It's a spit in the face of, you know, to the guys like JTG, Monerski, Latimer. I agree.
I agree too.
I agree too. I'm not disagreeing there, because it's pretty much saying that you lack of stars, and yet you're not helping them develop. I mean, like, they have everything. For me, in my opinion, NWA has the talent, has the stories that they could tell. They have
history.
Especially the history.
Yeah.
The problem is for me is the income and the marketing is where it lacks of, and that goes the same with Impact. Impact's underrated. Impact for me has one of the best women's roster right now in this modern era. Yeah. And they've been putting banger of matches, and NWA does the same thing too. The problem is there's a lack of market. There's a lack of people. Hey, tune in this, make a 10-second commercial. Why should we tune into NWA Power? it put it all over. I mean,
and they had that. They had the buzz when NWA Power first started. They had the buzz. It's like they just let it die down and they let it cool off. And that's the thing. You got to strike when the iron is hot. You cannot let your buzz cool off. You got to constantly think, what's the next step? It's like, I like to put it in like music terms because of like, in the music industry, if you put out a hit and you don't have that follow-up hit already ready for it, then you're going to be a one-hit wonder. The only way you have longevity and could continue putting out hit, you have to fucking, have that follow-up to constantly have people buzzing. They cooled off, and that's what stopped the momentum.
I don't look like Hector Garza, man. If I just give me a rose, I'll be like, yes, here, But no, I'm Al Borland, damn it. There you go. Shout out to Nick Ayers from the Ringside Fanatics, man. The Ring Fanatics podcast.
What up, homie?
Man, good shit on your bracket for ECW. Debatable, but I think De Niro needs to comment on that video, and Chris Kennedy as well.
I definitely want to check it out. It's been really crazy, but I've been needing to check that out because I'm a huge ECW fan.
Yeah, let's see the pandemic hurt them more than anything. 100%. They were hot, and then they had shut down. Yeah, I agree, Dom. I think that was the whole thing. The whole pandemic hurt them. They were already about to get on top of, getting on top again. And when it was announced that it was reborn, the NWA. And I really wish them to be the best. I wish them that they could, I wish they could really work with other promotions like Impact, like LINKTREE BELOW, continue with that, with that relationship and build it. And I think that's where I think Billy Corgan should focus on that. Focus on your marketing, focusing on, fixing, pretty much continue to rebrand that product, continue to develop your talent. The ones especially who stuck around for you for a long fucking time. And
Nick Aldis should be a fucking king. I don't know. Like, I don't want to speak too much about it because I don't know all the details, but Nick Aldis seemed to have an issue with Billy Corgan when he was talking on the fucking Conan's podcast. I think there might be some animosity in a way. And that's not a guy that you want to piss off because Nick Aldis definitely put your company back on the map by himself single-handedly. Who did more for the modern day NWA than Nick Aldis? Nobody.
Yeah.
What up, Clark Street?
What up, Clark Street? We the ones a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Now, before we get into the director here, very quick, new signees, very, very quick. We have, of course, they signed. They're now officials. Josh Woods, Kingdom. Josh Woods signed a multi-year contract, and the Kingdom already signed as well. What are your thoughts?
I'm happy with all these signings. Like, I think that they're all dope. I just feel like this is probably better if this is for the Ring of Honor show because the AEW show already has so many fucking talents on it that are not even on the show because of all the talents signed. So these would be great names, especially since they all were in Ring of Honor. This would be great to have these guys back in Ring of Honor. So if it's for the Ring of Honor roster, then that'll be really good.
Yes, absolutely. And then where's the director? Let me meet him for a minute because he walked away. He walked away. But yes, all right. I don't want to talk about it, but it was brought up, so I need to. Yes, I know. Oh, the scrum, the updates of what's going on. We're giving our opinions. We're not. We're not Sean Ross Sapp. We're not nobody else. But oh, there he is. The director's here, ladies and gentlemen. That is
What's
right.
Up,
he
man?
is here. Hold that, damn it. Yes, the director is in the house.
I can be clear despite all the noise. I don't see echoes the sound of your voice. The sound of my voice. I want to bring off the board that destroys. Open my eyes to the sound of your voice. I give up on existence.
That's all you're gonna get because on November 11th, ladies and gentlemen, make sure if you're following Fake Destroyed, follow Fake Destroyed because you'll get not only just this coming, song that you're listening to, the preview, but also the music video as well. Ladies and gentlemen, the director himself, the one and only director Chris Cassidy.
Uh-oh.
I don't.
Uh-oh.
Oh my god! You gotta turn around.
Oh man.
And
That is
how you
not to Neil Dashwood. We have Emma in the building. Shout out Emma.
Oh. We got, of course, Tennille Kennedy.
If Turnbuckle Tavern is watching, she was supposed to be on my list of people that need to come back. So clip it.
I will. Definitely. So, yes, very brief. As all we know, Larry got hurt, man. His teeth fucking fell out. Got hit with a door. Supposedly,
I know. I feel so
door.
bad. I feel so bad about that. That is the one thing that did not need to happen.
That's fucking horrible.
It is horrible, though, because
as a big dog lover, I got my fucking dog tatted on my arm, right?
Right.
As a big dog lover, the last thing I want to ever hear is a dog got hurt, especially over something so stupid.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know that they have like there's some petition online or something about I don't know if he has to get like 4 new teeth or something like that. Like
something like that. Like 2 or 3,
he's small. It's a small like it's a pug or it's like a baby pit bull or something. It's
like a fuck. I forgot what I don't know what kind. Totally.
It's not a big. I mean, any dog size is relevant, but it's a small puppers to begin with, so that's not cool.
Yeah.
No, it's not at all, man. But I mean, with the story, how as it develops, as we all know that, CM Punk is getting bought out of what we know. The Elite already going to make it a comeback. We saw what happened on Dynamite with the whole, Thanos Infinity Wars fading away, concept. And I mean, what Punk's camp? Oh, Emma Kennedy. Like that. There you go. He's like, I need more. Yes, that's right. But I mean, so there's no, by far, speculation CM Punk coming in. Nick Housen from Wrestling Inc., who was the one reporting this, and CM Punk apologized to him because he thought it was Colt Cabana's blah, blah, blah. But, now with Steel Ace gone, looks like CM Punk is on his way out, but they're trying to add that non-compete clause because they don't want him to go to WWE. But by obviously the speculation, Triple H doesn't seem interested, or the staff, the board members are not really interested of getting CM Punk, of what I've been reading as far. What do you guys take? Thoughts that, I mean, with all these updates, I know it's not much. I mean, we got the Elite coming back. We saw the little montage on Dynamite, but with CM Punk on his way out, I mean, I don't want to stick on this too much because CM Punk disappointed me. But my question is people want him to make amends and come back? Do you guys want him back? We've been do you guys want him back? Should he be obsolete from professional wrestling? So, director, talk to me on this one.
Do I want him back? Not really, because I forget who it was on the Turnbuckle Tavern. Might have been Tom. If you're going the wrong way on the freeway more than once, you're the asshole. Some metaphor like that, and that's a lot of what CM Punk is. There was no issues in the AEW locker room until he appeared. So I agree with that completely. It seems to be the controversy of him everywhere is the problem. I heard that Trips is open to the conversation. I don't know how that would work. That'd be mega hypocritical of at least CM Punk to go back, and super generous of Triple H to even want to talk to him. If he does stay in AEW, which the only acceptable way I would be all right, whatever, is if they ran this angle as a shoot angle, as if they addressed this, which I thought, I was kind of, trolling that I thought this was an angle to begin with. But if they run with it as a shoot angle, I'd be cool with that. Like, it's the lesser of the evils, I guess. Like, it's either retire or run this angle. Basically, are my two options with him. So those are my thoughts.
I'm with you. De Niro.
Yeah, I mean, you took the words right out of my mouth, Chris, because I said the same thing. Like, I think that if they were able to put all the bullshit aside and make money off of this angle, because it's the only thing that people are going to want to see if CM Punk is back in AEW. If they're able to do that, then I'm interested, because that's going to be compelling television. If not, then you're not really needed here. And I like the analogy that you said right now about going the opposite way on the highway, because this is not just 1 or 2 times. This is every company he goes to, he burns the bridge. And CM Punk is, that's the type of person he is. In his WWE documentary, he talks about, I'm not the type to burn bridges. I'm the type to blow bridges up while I'm still on them, right? And that's exactly what he does everywhere else. As for him going to the WWE, I don't see that happen. I could see maybe a conversation, but I don't see him ever going to the WWE.
Not because I'd like to see him. Like we talked about it. I mean, I guess you'll have to watch the content because I realized that was a pre-recorded episode. So if you want to hear more about my take on him going back to the main roster, watch Turnbuckle Tavern on I think Sunday comes out.
Monday coming out this Sunday. And we appreciate you, Director, for taking the time and representing the COD in Sports Fake the Story. So Dom sent me a picture. So Dom sent me a picture of CM Punk's dog. So let me show it to you guys very quickly. So
of his what? Of his dog?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hopefully, is it the one of him like cuddling? Because I don't want to see any like injuries.
No, that's his dog.
I'm getting.
I don't know what kind of dog is that.
I'm getting a phone call real quick.
Okay.
Looks like bad ears.
On a podcast right now. How you doing?
Hey, sorry.
That's Larry.
Are you for the Blue Ridge, and then also that what Baby Flex should have sent us, I think, is the teaser and then the slow-mo files. We don't have the actual video yet.
Right, of course.
Open it yet. I'm gonna open it. Okay.
I didn't open it because usually if it's something that I think that you need to see first, I don't open them. That way you don't see that it gets lost in the reds.
Did you reply to my mom?
Yeah, I sent her. I didn't reply to her in the email, but on the Big Cartel, it has her email address. It sends the tracking number.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Bye.
Yep, peace. Cool. We submitted for Blue Ridge again. So
awesome again.
That'd be a three-peat, the first ever, but it's a submission form. So there's a lengthy process of people that review bands, and again, it's good times.
Well, you already got the foot in the door because you already did it. So if they want to review, they could just watch the last.
The thing is, our foot's already been in that door. They have a huge no repeat policy because they want new bands at our level to shine, and so we'll see. We'll see.
Shout out to Track.
What up, Frank?
For Jofo, and also Frank for Jofo in the ring, man. Thank you guys.
What up, Frank?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Shout out to Jeremy Prophet for that beautiful AEW debut with what was the name
Jessica
of
Black.
With Jessica Neary, Jessica Black versus Penelope Ford and Kip Saban at AEW.
His intergender. Who's his intergender partner?
Jessica Black, that's better known Jessica Neary.
Yeah, so I heard very good things about her match with.
She's fucking awesome, bro.
Yeah, I heard that people they got talking to backstage because it was so good that they thought it was a shoot. That's a real thing. I heard that on What Culture. They were like, the people backstage were like, "Hey, you girls need to chill." They're like, no, this is how we work. We're all good. They're like, shake hands, make sure you guys are cool. It's like, no, we're good. This is the plan. So, congrats to everyone involved in that.
Most definitely.
Yeah, that's his girlfriend. Yeah, I do know.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah. Yes, she also won the Loot Academy as well. Yeah, shout out. Yeah,
nice.
They're here. What's going? Yes, that is right. And last one, so we can move on to
all stars in the chat right now. I'm into it.
Word. You got League up in the chat.
That's right. Of course, the thoughts of the PWI 150 women's list. This is the top 10, of course. So, man,
top 100, top 500.
This is 100 for the women's.
Okay,
so,
right.
Yeah.
How many people? Here it is. 150 list revealed. Got it.
Yeah, right here we have.
Oh, is this it? Yeah, PWI.
Right here we have the top 10. Number 1, Sayuri from Stardom. Bianca Belair, number 2. Thunder Rosa, number 3. Becky Lynch, number 4. Jade Cargill, number 5.
I love that. That is a brave fucking move right there. That is a baller move to put her on that. To put her on this list, let alone, and I know Charlotte Flair's been out for most of the year, so she kind of DQs herself from even being on the list. But to put her above Charlotte, I don't hate it, and I can't disagree with it. I love it.
Same here. She has probably, in my opinion, the best character more than anyone on this list.
She is what you call in baseball most improved player.
Yeah.
And then you have, of course, Jordan Grace at 6, Saya Kamitani at 7, Charlotte at 8, Starlight Kid number 9, which I'm happy for. And what I'm happy too is La Buena Loca, Taya Valkyrie. Yee. Bon, Bata Loca. That's right.
I even love Liv Morgan being at 17, who is again most improved player up on the main roster. Like she is killing it everywhere.
Speaking of killing it with Liv Morgan, she got murdered brutally on Chucky. If you guys check that out.
No, I think it's a spoiler.
Sorry. It wasn't really a part of the show. It doesn't go with any story.
I don't give a shit. Like Chucky is 1 and 2. That's it for me, man. Like the first 2.
But yeah, so to finish it off, director. I mean, you were mentioning. So, what are your thoughts on these top 10 women's? I mean, you heard Clark Street. He's debating about Jade being above Charlotte. I mean, give us your take.
Okay, so look how many matches they've had in the past. I don't know what is it. Literally 2000. So is it leading? Let me stop myself. I've had some coffee. A little
evaluation period from October of last year, October 1st of 2021 to September 15th.
Okay, cool. So how much of that time has Charlotte been out for? TV time. How many matches? Virtually none of them. She's been injured for the better part of the calendar year. Correct.
What was her last match? Was it Backlash?
It was definitely. She hasn't been around since at least Survivor Series because she was not on that card, and she would have been if she was not injured.
I think the last time we saw her was after WrestleMania Backlash was the last time when she lost to Rousey.
So she made the list, and she was only in half of the year. Yeah. Jade Cargill is working hard, and she's improving. She's on, I think, doing double duty on both Dynamite and Rampage. And she's involved in a very active storyline, and she's good on the mic, and she's getting better in the ring. I don't hate it. I think that her time spent and her work ethic, I mean, not that Charlotte doesn't have work ethic, but her work spent, earns her that spot. I'm cool with that. I have no problem with that.
And also to add to that, I also agree with the list because, Charlotte, as great as she is, and we said last week, me and Chris both agreed that Charlotte's the GOAT, right? Yeah. But as great as she is, it's been the same character, and it's been very little, progression to that character. We've been seeing the same thing with Charlotte for years. So Jade has been something fresh, and I think that being that fresh character makes her a little bit more exciting for me right now. So that's why I think that it's pretty cool and, like Chris said, ambitious to put Jade where she is on that list.
Yeah, I see her doing the work. Like she's not just lying on her looks and her physical attributes. She's in the ring doing, trying to get better. Her matches are not squashes anymore. They're not just one glam slam and it's over. It's, rotating defense. Like she's a fighting champion, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like she's basically you could say the Goldberg, but she's very similar to the legendary US Open Challenge from John Cena. Like I'm not going to say I'm not going to say they're equal in quality, but they're parallel in work ethic.
Good point. Good point on that. I mean, I can't disagree at all with this list. A shout out to Stardom. Reason why?
Because down the list itself, which is pretty quick. Like I don't need to really pull out a bunch of names. Toni Storm at 25. I maybe would have put her a little bit higher. Would have put her a little bit higher. Maybe equal to Mandy Rose at 21.
Here's the thing, though.
Mandy Rose doing the damn thing over there in NXT. She's definitely carrying that company.
But I can understand why Toni Storm is so high. It's because of the evaluation period. Toni Storm came to AEW 2022 most of the time in 2021, and especially late 2021. She wasn't even wrestling in WWE. They just had her.
Yeah, it's like the opposite of Charlotte Flair. Like she's had a lot of time to make up for it, and she's done it in the 4 months she's been in AEW, or 6 months at most. Yeah. Damn. I mean, J 103. She's barely even wrestles. Cool. Cool. Chris Chandler at 125. Yeah, maybe. Ty Mello at 127. Cool. Shotzi's on there. Sick. Yeah.
In response to Dom, Liv Morgan is not mid. Leave Liv Morgan alone, Dom.
See, Jade has a good character, but her wrestling is not so much.
Right, but you have to recognize that she's getting better. I don't think Jade's wrestling's getting any worse. I see her doing the work to get better.
And not only that, but Jade just started. Like her first ever match was the first match she had on Dynamite. That was her first ever match.
She's literally Goldberg, where Goldberg came out of the power plant. Jade's coming out of whatever Daniel Bryan calls his gym.
I definitely gotta give her respect.
That's what I'm calling it. I love that.
Yeah, but it's like, I gotta, what's it called? I gotta give respect to Jade because what is it, like maybe a year and some change in, and if she's at this level after a year, after 39 matches, then imagine where she's gonna be in 5 years, especially with that character, like the conviction that she has with her character. It's money. I think that Jade Cargill is gonna be on top of the world soon. So definitely give it 2-3 years. I can see her number 1 or 2 on this list.
Yeah, she's definitely taking that belt from Wardlow.
I just want to give shout out to Stardom because it deserves to be recognized in this list. The fact because during the pandemic era, they were really contributing a lot to the audience in Japan with no fans or with limited amount of fans. With Sirui and Starlight, which I'm a big fan of because she fucking kicks ass in Stardom, and man, I'll tell you that she put a fantastic match with Yumi Yamashita and Mayu Watani. So these stars, these Stardom stars, I would really keep an eye on, and we'll see in Clark Street. I disagree. Jade Wrestling has been stagnant lately. My thoughts on Jade. I think what sold these individuals of the PWI to put her in top 5 was what Dom mentioned, the availability. I think and her character is what really sold. I'm with you, Devin, about her ability.
In no way do I think it was like a favor. I don't think it was a pity placement in any sense.
No, I don't. I'm not saying it's a pity.
No, not that you do either. I'm saying like there is definitely for me an argument to be had that it's not the worst idea.
Yeah. It's just that I think it's more based on her character, what she's done, and how she's the time they give her on national television, and I feel she's done a fantastic job. I'm with De Niro. Give her another year, and maybe we could see something different. Hopefully, we do, and that's all I want to see from Jade because you want a homegrown talent of for AEW such as Jade Cargill to become number 1. Yeah, you may be right, but at least she's there. Charlotte was a 5-month solo honeymoon. Not a faint jet, especially kicking her. Oh, yes, I know. I saw that. She kicked Jeremy Prophet in the face on Rampage.
Was that
on Rampage? That was last
right.
Like,
was that like a Brie Bella Liv Morgan moment, or was that?
That was when she. It was no, because she was trying to get her belt back from the storyline. You know how Nyla Rose has her belt.
Yeah.
So security's out there trying to calm her down. Jeremy Prophet was one of them, and she kicked the Prophet right in the fucking face. I was like, "Fuck!" Prophet took it.
Did it go wrong, or did it just looked real good?
No, it looked real good. It looked
okay.
So
okay. I don't want to break the fourth wall here. It's still real to me, damn it. But I just want to make sure that this wasn't a Liv Morgan moment and knock the fuck out.
Oh no, I look fucking fantastic. You can go back and look at it. I'm looking for it so you can see it. Oh man.
Yeah, I can find that.
Oh man. The final thoughts on this list so we can move on.
I mean, I like it. I think that it's really cool that they're giving some respect to Stardom because, I got to say, and Matt's not on right now, but I'll be Matt for a second. I'll be Matt Callis. The best women's wrestling in the world right now is Stardom. It's Tokyo Joshi Pro. There's a lot of great women's wrestling in Japan, and it doesn't always hit people's radar until you see it get some like roses like this. So I think that this is awesome that they're giving Japan their roses. Let them run with this because, I believe last year Becky Lynch was number 1, and that's cool and all. But it's like if you watch some of the matches in Japan, the shit that these women are doing is insane. So definitely respect to Stardom, Tokyo Joshi Pro, and other women's wrestling in in Japan for having a presence here on the list.
Yeah, definitely. Oh man! All right, now it is time to move on, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's do the damn thing.
It ain't better time. No, it's not, ladies and gentlemen. It ain't better time. It is time for some good old fucking classic.
Dynamite!
That is right. Dynamite that happened 24 hours ago, ladies and gentlemen. And this Dynamite was awesome right here. I'll explain my reason why I want to give it kudos for this Dynamite for a specific reason. But man, I could tell you, it was look. I'll digress in a moment. But let's get into the action here, ladies and gentlemen. Quote you, Frank. Sorry, Frank. Much love to you, Frank Joko. All right. Got the Blackpool Combat Club versus Jazz. Jazz. The opening matchup here for AEW Dynamite. Blackpool Combat Club versus Jericho Appreciation Society. Of course, instant classic tag team match. I really enjoyed the back and forth chemistry between Claudio Castagnoli, but to call him Cesaro, excuse me, and Chris Jericho. And I really like it. Was fun. It was a great opening matchup to see everybody all gelling in. Great chemistry. Garcia, it's impressed me by the day every time. I'm still fucking hurting. Why did I hope we get that turn that I've been asking for. Garcia turning on fucking Jazz and saying it was all a plan all along, and just to get to you. Remember, keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer. That's how you get your belt and get your title shot at Ring of Honor Final Battle at December show. I hope it happens, but Director, take it away on this opening matchup. Give us your take on it.
Very decent match. I believe, I'm trying to read, I watched it, but it was chaos at the end there. Wheeler got the pin, right?
I think Claudio pinned.
Claudio got the pin. Claudio.
Okay, cool. Got it.
The neutralizer.
Yes, exactly. Sorry. I did watch it. A lot of stuff going on. I don't think the Daniel Garcia thing is a thing. I think what we're going to get is Wheeler turning, and then he's just out or something like that. Or he might turn that. He might light that fire under Brian that I never knew was not there. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. We're like, there's the emotion I want out of you, Daniel. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's always had that.
Right.
Just out there that I want to see you angry too. It's like the dude literally said, here's where I rip his fucking head off on live TV. Like, how much more fire do you need?
Right.
I don't know where they're going with this, but all will be sorted. I think the chips will fall a little bit more, pun intended, in place after all out, or not all out, full gear.
Full gear.
Yeah. I think that's going to answer a lot of questions on the future of Blackpool, and I'll get into that later. It's a good match. I think Daniel's where he is supposed to be. I mean, obviously, I would have liked them going back in time and rewrite this entire storyline with Daniel in the Wheeler Yuta spot, but that didn't happen. So I think he's just going to stay in Jazz for a while. I don't think you're going to get a face dissension turn where the guy's pretending to be a bad guy to turn on the bad guys to be the good guy. That has never happened, and I don't think that's going to happen. It wouldn't work with this angle, in my opinion, at all.
It would be innovative.
It would. I mean, it would be interesting. It would be a first for sure. Where he's like, "I want the ROH title." So now I've, like you said, kept my enemies closer. Like, you've beaten every other champion. I'm also a champion in Ring of Honor. Now it's time for us to battle. Like, It just seems weird that he is like now claiming to be full-fledged Jericho. So
yeah.
We'll see. That's the only thing that throws me off. It's just like, what the fuck? Like, why?
Yeah, like his dissension of will he, won't he turn on Daniel or Jericho, that's already solved. He already turned on one of them and made his decision. If he was still questioning it, then it would make sense.
Right.
But yeah, I don't see a good guy making that type of move for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. And also, the match was good. I like the matchup, but what really took me out of this matchup is just the never-ending storyline between these two factions. I'm done with this. Like, move on.
We can say that about a lot of storylines that have occurred ever in AEW.
Yeah, but it's like
it always feels like that,
We've been having a fucking feud between these two teams since April, because it was leading into May. It was Double or Nothing, and ever since. Because if you remember, this started with Jericho and Kingston, right? And then the Jericho Appreciation Society was formed, and then Kingston got the Blackpool Combat Club to have his back, and ever since then they've been feuding, and that's Double or Nothing. And it was a couple weeks before Double or Nothing, so it had to be like April, or May. No, Double or Nothing was May, so April. Think about that.
Yeah, Dom, stopping by.
Take care, Dom. Yeah, I always appreciate you stopping by, homie.
Appreciate you, Dom, man. Thank you so much.
But yeah, it's like, that takes me out of these matches because the match quality is good, but the story behind it has been so drawn out. Like, can we get something fresh? Is there anything fresh? It sucks. Like, I just want, there's so much potential for a team like the Blackpool Combat Club, but we see them going against the same guys every single week. So you really took the steam out of them.
This is where it's coming in issues. The tables turn. We used to say about that with WWE, and now it looks like AEW is doing the same thing. And here's the biggest why I want to kind of digress a little bit, which we're about 3 weeks away heading to Full Gear, and there's still no storyline at all. We only have one. We only have one. I mean, we'll get into later with what I feel like we'll see the two other matches. But other than that, there's nothing else that I feel that.
I mean, so the unresolved things we have so far, it was Claudio stealing the win from Eddie Kingston, but he got that back, right?
Yeah.
And then the Wheeler Yuta thing where he feels like he's the bastard stepchild, and Daniel Garcia is the new kid. And that's it. Like, I don't know where that Wheeler thing's gonna go. Either he's gonna leave or Daniel Bryan's gonna like drop trowel and kiss his ass. Like I don't understand.
You know, this is where I think the problem lies, right? When AEW first started and they started the whole long-term story building between Hangman Page and Kenny Omega, they got a lot of respect for AEW bringing back long-term stories. Right. And I feel like now they feel like, oh, well, the people want long-term stories. So now every storyline is getting stretched out. So I feel like you have to pick and choose. There's a couple storylines that can be quick. You know, this is just leading to the pay-per-view. And then there's other stories that you could really build and build for months and months and months. I feel like they're a little confused on which ones to really build because there's a lot of stories that I feel like they need to move on.
And they used to be really good back in the day. Back in the day is a wild sentence because I remember watching the AEW debut. Old school AEW is the thing now.
AEW really originals.
Right? They were really good at dropping storylines that fell flat. Coincidentally, they all involved Brandy Rhodes, but they were really good at like literally moving on and never referencing the storyline. Like, what happened to that thing? It was over. They were like, it didn't work. They moved on. When they didn't address it, it's like it never happened. And they don't do that anymore with things that just kind of miss.
This may be a reach, right? I don't know if this is the reason why, so I don't want to like, you know, act like I'm breaking news here. Like this is just my speculation. I really feel like when they lost Cody, they lost the real like storyline builder in that company. Like Cody has such a great mind for this. And I feel like maybe ever since Cody left, I started to like realize some of the cracks and the holes in the storytelling for AEW. And, you know, Cody was the one who was saying, hey, we listen to the fans. If the fans doesn't like something, we won't keep doing it. And now, you know,
clearly because he quit.
Yeah.
He totally listened.
He's like, hey, the fans don't like me. All right, I won't keep doing it then. No, but so I definitely think that, you know, Cody had a big part to play in that. Like, oh, you know, we'll move away from things that are not getting the attention that we want it to get.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. Oh man, look, I want to bring this up because I don't know if you guys saw we saw after the aftermath, we saw the Gun Club situation. I mean, I'm sorry, the BCC situation with, you know, backstage with Brian and everybody else. But after that, I want to bring this up because I'm looking on the left side of my screen, and I'm gonna show my screen. So we had Jazz on commentary, you know, backstage, right, with Tony Schiavone. Did anybody notice this? And I noticed, and I literally screenshot 4 different pictures because I want you guys to look at Anna J and what's the other guy's name? The other guy from 2.0. Look at that picture.
Matt Menard.
Look at his hand. You see, he's about to hug her while, you know, Jericho's talking. He's like, oh, I can't do that. All right, then we get another picture. Oh, okay. Look at his hand. There you go. Yeah, Angelo Parker.
He's not in 2.0. He is in 2.0. Yeah. Sorry, I see a private.
Okay, so you see his hand right behind. You see Anna Jay's hand behind him too. I'm like, what the fuck's going on there? And then I see his face. Like, oh yeah, baby. I'm like, okay, what the fuck is going on? Oh, okay.
I know what you're saying.
And look at that right there. Look at the face.
I know what you're saying.
Okay,
I know what you're saying.
And look at it.
Jungle Boy might need to step in.
Jungle Boy.
Hey man, so this is pretty TMZ, but I could read a story if I was in high school. You know, like I can see what you're saying. It's not a stretch to see that was a thing that just happened.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going? Like, if you guys go back at the video and look at it, I swear I was like, what the fuck? I went like 3 different times. What is going on back there? And then this Hey, Jungle Boy.
Is Wayne Brady gonna have to choke a bitch?
I love that episode of Chappelle Show.
Oh man, Jungle Boy, you better keep your girl on check because they're getting a little bit awfully too close right there with the end.
Jazz is getting a little handsy over here.
You get a little bit of handsy.
I hope that's not what it was, but it definitely looks exactly like what it was.
Yikes.
Ah. Oh.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
That's exactly what I feel. There's a fucking chance, man. Like,
Jesus Christ.
Go back, guys. If you guys are listening to the audio platform, I put pictures of the whole Jazz segment behind the scene, backstage with Tony Schiavone. Look at it. Go back to the video so you know what I'm talking about. Keep an eye on Angelo Parker and Anna Jace. I don't know what the hell they were doing, playing handsy, behind there. So, Jungle Boy, yeah, you might. If you're watching this, you better be like, what the hell is this shit about? We just TMZ your ass, Anna J. Sorry, but we love you.
Yeah, yeah. I'll let that resolve itself backstage. That's really none of our business.
Exactly.
The next backstage fight in the AEW.
And the next, oh man, Swerve Our Glory versus FTR for the #1 contendership for the AEW Tag Team Championships. Man, I can tell you this fucking match was. Play it. I will play it because I need to do it.
This is such good shit.
It was shit because, man, just to sell overall. I know the headbanging right. That's good shit. It's everything over the sell. Everything was just the chemistry was. Oh man, I love FTR. They know how to fucking tell a story in a matchup. I like how they struggled to pick up, Keith Lee. I like how Keith Lee did the split and went, under that. I was like, oh shit, this match was really insane. I know I heard in the IWC community was not really happy in the beginning when the Acclaim came out, and of course, Scissor Me Daddy. They were taking the momentum away from the match itself for a few minutes. Well, it was only a few minutes, guys. It wasn't that much. I mean, come on. But you got to give credit where credit's due. They're getting over with Scissor Me Daddy. So, hey, why the hell not? But this match overall was fucking great, man. I really enjoyed it top to bottom. Great storytelling. The only thing I was like, man, Keith Lee missed a spot when, when Cash Wheeler was on the top of the rope when Hardwood suplexed him. He didn't stay that long. He fucking rolled, and by the time I'm like, oh, you missed your spot, man. So you had to do an elbow or do something. But man, overall, this was great. Of course, the finish we see. Of course, the low blow, and then it was it. And I'm pretty sure that something tells me, and I'm saying it right now, we're going to see, this is going to happen. This is probably one story that we're getting at Full Gear. The trilogy match at Full Gear, and this is where we see, I can't believe I forgot his fucking name. This is where I see him turning heel.
Oh, Strickland?
Yeah, I see Swerve Strickland turning heel on Keith Lee on this one.
Yeah.
I feel that they're heading that direction at Full Gear. I see the acclaim retains, and then I see Swerve turning on Keith Lee. He'll probably bring somebody else with him, someone new maybe. We'll see. Get away, director. Give us your take on this one.
I think Keith Lee's kind of the character right now that needs that heel turn. He's kind of flat right now. People are only cheering him because he's respected, but I think that the better storyline would be Keith Lee moving on. They definitely are not lighting any torches as a tag team. No one's cheering them. People are kind of not even really booing them. They still have this weird dissension thing where like they're not on the same page when it comes to their in-ring chemistry, which is part of the angle, but they lost the belts, so that angle should already be over. So yeah, that's basically my opinion. Is I think Swerve would be a better good guy, and it wouldn't make sense for the little guy to be the bad guy against the big good guy because it just doesn't. I mean, when has David ever been the bad guy versus Goliath? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me.
That would be the real Swerve because it's looking one way and you could switch it up.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that.
Good.
For me, I saw people complaining about the beginning too. I don't know why. Like that's stupid. Like people shouldn't be complaining about that. The thing that I was complaining about though was the ending. I thought it was so stupid to have like the referee's back behind, like not seeing that the Gun Club was like wailing and holding back. Who was the Cash Wheeler? Like, come on, blatant interference, and the referee just standing in one spot stationary. You know, usually when there's ever wrestlers, and especially in a tag match with wrestlers fighting on the outside, the referee's always making sure that they're, you know, he's always looking on the outside and making sure he knows where everyone is at all times. So for him to just be standing there with his back turned against the wrestler, getting fucking wailed on by two guys in the crowd, I thought that was whack, and that was a way to ruin an amazing matchup, because the matchup was amazing, and then you had that flat ass ending. So nonetheless, I think that the trilogy between Swerve and Our Glory and the Acclaimed is going to be a great matchup, especially in Jersey. I think the Acclaimed is going to retain. Max Caster, I believe, is he the one from Jersey? I know one of them is from Jersey, one of them's from New York.
I think the one that raps is the one from New York, Long Island, I believe.
So, all right, yeah. So Max Caster, they got the win in New York, and then I guess they're going to get their win in Jersey too. So they both get a win in their hometown against Swerve and Our Glory. And I, to be honest, I'm not really interested at all for FTR Gun Club. Like, the Gun Club needs to be built back up before they're against caliber teams like FTR. Like, they lost every feud that they're in, and then now they're going to be feuding with the top tag team in the world. That doesn't seem right there.
I don't mind it. The reason why I don't mind it, because I get your point, though. That's why you start booking them, having them tag team matches, and build up that momentum, that story. But I feel like that's going to go for Final Battle. That's going to head for Ring of Honor Final Battle for them. It shouldn't happen at Full Gear. It should happen at Final Battle.
Yeah, I agree. The only way that I think that this would be a really cool, compelling storyline, I don't know if we're going to talk about this later, but because of the ending of the show,
we're going to get into that.
All right, I can see FTR having MJF's back against the Firm, being that the Gun Club's a part of that. You know, we really never had FTR kicked out of the Pinnacle, so FTR could help MJF take out the Firm. I could see that happening.
Also in there for some reason. Like, I get that he's in there, but he's automatically returns as a face, which is okay, weird.
So that means that you have a full everyone right now in the Pinnacle babyface. If you look at how Dynamite ended, it was kind of a babyface, you know, turn in a way for MJF. So I could see a babyface Pinnacle going against a heel Firm, especially because you've already been building up the Gun Club versus the FTR.
Okay. Could be that case. It could. I mean, I don't. It's tough. I mean, you got a point, but it's tough. I mean, it would make sense, but I don't see that happening. We'll get into
me neither. I'm just grasping at straws. I honestly don't care about the Gun Club versus FTR. I'm just trying to find a way where it would make me care. I could care less if that happens, to be honest.
I don't mind it, because the last time I saw us face each other, they had a great match between FTR and the Gun Club. And it was the chemistry was awesome. But I'm hoping they're building the story heading to Ring of Honor, a Final Battle. That's what I want to see. That's why, if that's the case, have them now on TV, book them matches, tag matches, help them elevate their heel side more, and then so they can be. So by the time that feud comes to fruition at Final Battle, then we're all going to be invested. Right now, I know you're not invested.
But you could really see them stretching this all the way to December, though, because Final Battle is in December. Because I don't think there's much heat there to really stretch this out for another month. Like, get this match out the way. Put this shit on Rampage. Like, it doesn't have to be a pay-per-view matchup. I don't think that this is a pay-per-view feud. This could be a Dynamite special. Like, they have a special every 3 weeks.
I would say maybe probably buy it for a Thanksgiving special, maybe. That could be the thing.
Because here's the thing. I think that the bigger match at Ring of Honor's Final Battle has to be the trilogy between the Briscoes and FTR. They're 1-1 apiece, right? So you get the Briscoes in there one more time. I think that was what they were building up to, because the Briscoes said that they're coming back for the titles. Build up that shit till Final Battle. Put that shit in a ladder war. That's the hotter matchup than them and the Gun Club. Especially, it doesn't have much heat behind it now. So if you drag it on another 2 months, I feel like that's just going to make it another AEW storyline that we're talking about, this is the never-ending feud.
No, I mean, I get you. I get your point. Okay, it's not, can't debate that. All right, let's get into. Brian. How does Chris say this? Bryanson.
Daniel Danielson.
Daniel Bryanson.
Daniel Danielson versus Gami Savara.
You gotta get that on the shirt. Hashtag Daniel Bryanson.
Daniel Danielson.
I will buy that. I'll put it on a hat.
Hell yeah. I will definitely buy it.
But you have to add the hashtag. It has to say hashtag Daniel Bryanson.
Bryanson.
I love it.
We all love it. Oh, starting from the backstage, dilemma what happened and got Brian all pumped up. When he was interviewed by Renee Paquette. I'm pissed off. I'm mad at that Wheeler. That Wheeler's mad at me. I'm mad that Garcia turned his back on me. I'm mad that Jericho beat me. I'm fucking pissed. I'm gonna kick somebody's fucking head in, and that's what he did. But kudos to Sammy. He fucking put on a great fucking offensive matchup. With the moonsault, with the knee. The mini Spanish fly. I really enjoyed this. This is the Sammy that I like to see. And of course, this is keep building this guy to be more Hades heel. I like it. I think I'm not disappointed with Sammy's run singles competitor, and I would continue it. Brian as well. I really enjoyed it. I was not disappointed with this matchup. I like this, the chemistry that these two have. And we'll see what's next. For Bryanson, we'll see what's next for Bryanson. But yes, Director, the floor is yours.
This was a good match. They will do a better match on a pay-per-view, but this is as good as a match as you will get on TV from two of the best in the business. I do like that. I think wrestlers like this kind of tone it down just a little bit. So if they do have a pay-per-view match, it just is that much better. I also like the protected win, which is what I consider going to sleep or a referee decision on a finish. It's not a pinfall. It's not technically a submission. It's not a DQ. Daniel Bryan did win, but Sammy never gave up. I like that. I love the Ty Mello interference outside. I love the dynamic of the kissing between the ropes and I like that. I know it's cheeseball as fuck, but it's so funny. It's so Miz and Maurice, which is my favorite couple of all time.
Love that.
I'm a fan of it, and they will have better matches in the future. If they fight 10 times, you're going to get 9.5 5-star matches. I promise that. Yeah. And that's pretty much it. I don't know if an angle moved forward. It was just Jazz versus Blackpool, and that's pretty much it. But quality of the match, loved it.
Love it.
Yeah, I definitely think it was a great matchup, and I think that, this could be a feud that could culminate at a pay-per-view. So I did like what Chris said, don't do it all right now. Don't blow your whole load on this matchup because you don't want to have, nothing new when they meet up again. So I think that it was a well-wrestled matchup, and I'm excited for a rematch. They had really good chemistry, surprisingly.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I was surprised that chemistry was fucking great, man. I enjoyed it. Because I would love to see them to main event pretty soon, Sammy and Brian for sure. Good chemistry, good shit. All right. Now speaking of good shit, let's move on to this one because your baby girl. I know it's you, girl. So don't deny it. I already know it. Jamie Hayter. No more of this or no more boop. Now she's your girl, and you know who I'm talking. You know who I'm talking to. You know I'm talking. Yes, I'm looking at you. I'm not gonna say your name. This is real. This is Jamie Hayter. Yes, I know. I saw a lot of memes and a lot of things. Yes, remind you guys.
I know. I don't know if there was one where she had the fish hook on her.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know if you saw that one where Rio's face was just ripped apart like she was in Hellraiser. I was like, bro, this is fake. You know that, right, Jamie? Jesus Christ. Let's see if I can find that. I think that's on the NXT AEW Instagram. Keep talking while I try to track that photo down.
Yeah, I got you. But I enjoyed this. And we're noticing that the women's are giving their time. This is the second match that we're seeing that has been given more than 2 minutes. This match, I tried to time it, Anybody in the comments are welcome to judge, to correct me if I'm wrong. I kind of timed it 5 minutes, probably 5, close to 6. If I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, and I apologize. I was trying to time it as much as I could. I had thousands of things doing one at a time while I'm watching, the matchup. But I really enjoyed it. This was a great match. I enjoyed the chemistry. Oh! Speaking of, there he is. Matt Cal is in the chat.
Hey,
yes, Riho faced Jungle Kiona. Yes, I know it was a good match. I saw that. So people who have not seen it, Riho versus Jungle Kiona. That is right. She was actually at PCW, by the way. I forgot to tell you, Matt. But I could, she was with, of course, Yamashita. Sumi Sakai. Stardom's Jungle Kiona making her debut. Yes.
Oh, found it.
Okay. Yes, Matt Callis, you could have been here, but I know you're busy. But yes, I enjoyed this matchup. I really was scared of Riho because, man, it's just that you got a heavyweight of it's Jamie Hayter versus.
Oh, the picture that I saw, it's an old picture. I guess they fought before.
Oh, the first time. This is the second time.
That's not it. That was fucking Turnbuckle.
spoiler alert for Monday.
I thought this was a new picture, but I'm trying to pull it up right now.
Yeah, I think they had a little brief feud 2019 in AEW.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And there you go. Put it again.
That was quick. What the fuck? There we go.
There you go. Yeah. Oh,
I thought that was from Dynamite because someone posted that pretty recently, but I think that was like an upcoming teaser.
Yeah, that was the first matchup. Yes, that is for sure. Yeah, but this match was great. Of course, we saw the aftermath. We saw Tony Storm coming out, and that's how you know that it's going to happen for sure. Tony Storm, it's his second match for Full Gear. Jamie Hayter versus Tony Storm for the interim. But no, it's not an interim, damn it. It's an AEW Women's Championship.
They didn't say. They did not say. They did not say undisputed, but they also did not say interim.
You're right. They didn't say that.
It's not a win, but it's not a loss.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm wearing my dad's sweater. I figured.
Matt's gonna have to go back and watch my entrance, so he's got a reason to watch it.
You got to watch it. That's right. You got to go back and watch it, and of course, you have to go back and. I'll reintroduce him. I'll just do it. Why the hell not? So I want to do it for like 7 seconds. There you go. There you go. Mercedes Martinez has been injured, and she still has. Yeah, I know. She still has the Ring of Honor Women's Championship. I have no idea what's going on there too, Frank. I wish that she could book more. But this, like I said, I like the booking for Jamie, but here's my fear, and I know I'm gonna get shitted on. And I said this last week, and the week before, and the week before. AEW, you guys are cheering, right? You did it for Thunder, the same thing. I'm not blaming you guys. I blame fucking this guy, Tony Khan, because of the booking. Now let's say if Hayter goes over at Full Gear. She goes face because Britt Baker is going to turn on her. You got my championship. That's my belt. Not your belt, bitch. My belt. That's what Britt Baker will say. But I feel like, okay, that happens. She goes over Britt. Then what? It's going to happen the same thing what happened with Thunder Rosa. This is why I know you're disagreeing, but I hope it's a different.
I know it's going to happen. So I'm going to let you finish.
I know. Plus, Thunder losing to Hitter will look bad for her. Tony Storm has to win. I mean, the way how the fans are looking, Frank. I mean, the crowd is really pushing for Jamie Hayter, and she's getting over with the fans, and I'm happy for her. That
she's getting Hayter chant.
Yes,
she's really over.
Yeah, she's really over. But my concern is, you put her to the top of the mountain, then what? That's my concern. My concern is the booking. My concern is what this piece of shit's gonna do. Because he always fucks it up.
That's fucking bullshit.
No, you bullshit, all right? You always fuck shit up, Tony Khan. Every time you book a woman, you fuck it up. But that's just me.
We're never getting press pass.
I digress. Director, go ahead. Shut me up.
So, what do you want? Spoiler or prediction?
I want both, damn it.
All right, so Jamie.
Hold on, before you go, I have.
Give me what I want.
That's right. Give me what I want, director.
All right, cool. So Britt turns on Jamie when she's about to win the title. That's my belt. I did everything for you. How dare you come after my belt? They fight. They break up. Jamie moves down a division, beats Jade Cargill for the TNT title. That's the storyline. She's going to be the 45-1.
Yeah, I can see that happening too.
She's the only person currently in that company that I even deem close to being worthy to taking that win.
Damn. Point. Fuck! I can't.
I like it.
I love it. Call it again. All right, Leo.
I love it.
And what that does is that allows Jamie to be super over. She pops right at the right time, and that puts Jade back. That'll move Jade up into the heavyweight women or whatever it's called, main title picture. So you get a double. You kind of get a double switch. They both deserve those spots. Jade moves up. Jamie explodes in popularity with that belt.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good. I
book it, Dano.
Well, sounds like
That's
somebody
right.
needs to get a job in AEW.
Yeah,
I would. You ever seen Fight Club? This is a job I can do from home. I don't even need to come into the office.
So there you go, guys. If you guys are watching this, comment below. That's gonna be the thing right there for you guys. Okay, you concur? Is the director wrong? I mean, comment. I want to hear your thoughts.
No, I'm not wrong.
We want to know from you.
You want to know from the fans.
Only casual fans who don't know what they're talking about disagree in the comments.
Oh,
see?
The title should go to Soraya.
Stanford Stooge.
there you
Yeah.
go.
Soraya is the belt. Paige is the revolution. Scream with me or whatever the fuck.
This is her house.
But yes, and that's the other one. Soraya, Britt Baker is going to happen a full year. That's 3 matches that we're having.
Is that match happening?
So far. It's going to happen.
It's
going to happen. They're building towards it. It's going to happen. I mean, we saw what happened backstage, like we saw Renee Paquette, of course, blah, blah, blah. And then like, no, we'll talk about this next week. And then, yeah, it's going to happen.
I hate
Somehow,
Wrestling World. The wrestling logic sucks, man. Like, it's so unrealistic. Like, you know what? We have something to say to each other. We're right in front of each other's face, but we're going to wait 7 days to talk about it. Like,
yeah.
Hey. Oh, and that's like it's telenovela. Novela for you. That's just what it is.
Wrestling logic, like porn logic.
Póngase a ver al próximo capítulo de AEW. You see, that's what I gotta say. De Niro, the floor is yours.
I thought this matchup was really good, and glad to see Rio back. Rio's always been a standout for me. She, small, but she's like a little stick of dynamite. She no pun intended. She's always like really explosive and always puts on a good matchup. But Jamie Hayter right now, they're building her up strong, and I'm all for her versus Toni Storm. Toni Storm coming out looking like $1 million after the matchup. Shit, that's gonna be hard. I like what Chris said. I like the idea. Was that the prediction or the spoiler?
That's a spoiler that I predicted.
Oh, okay. I thought you had the DeLorean checked out the future and came back and told us.
That's what he just did.
I think but yeah, I mean, I really like that idea. I wouldn't be opposed to them, just shaking shit up and having Jamie Hayter win the title either. It would be shocking, but the only thing is you would need to make sure you have something in mind after that. And that's the thing. Like Ivan said, I can't give AEW the benefit of the doubt for having a plan if Jamie Hayter wins the title. It's just going to be, here's the moment. And then, we won't see her for like 3 or 4 weeks. So I hope that, if they do decide to take that leap of faith, then at least have something built up or something in mind to do something that's going to be interesting with her afterwards.
Yeah.
That's only my concern, man. It's just like, fuck. Jesus. But, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, we'll wait and see. All right. It's now time for the main event of Dynamite, and that is the AEW World Championship. John Moxley versus Penta Cero Miedo. That's right. I know. Cero Miedo.
That Eddie Kingston promo was fucking great. That was so.
Talk about it before we get into
this.
Talk about it.
Oh yeah.
Preach it.
I don't understand. I know that Dirty Hills don't like the character of Eddie Kingston because he's that traditional Brooklyn street tough character, but that was a fantastic promo. I love that he was like, "Hey man, yeah, F3's great. Quit talking about me." I was like, bro, killed it.
You see me smiling?
Yeah, things good, man. I'm loving it, man. Life's great. I got my best friends in the ring right now. Yo, Moxie's gonna take it, but yeah. Anyways, quit talking about me online. Dude, it was, some of the best.
He's so good at what he does.
I don't even think it's character work because he's a guy who just knows who he is in real life, and that translates to his TV persona.
Mm-hmm. 100%.
Yeah, fantastic.
Oh man, but this match for me, it's like they fucking know each other. These two guys, man. I like the chemistry again. You know, with of course, Penta's a little bit entertaining side. Like, mira puto, cero miedo, cabrón, and then Moxley, oh, see, puta, yeah, here you go. I like that. I like the Moxley. I saw MJ making fun of it earlier, and Moxley, I want to say with all due much respect, and I'm saying this to all the ladies too, Renee Paquette looking very fabulous. I can tell you that right now. But other than that, this match was great. I enjoyed top to bottom the chemistry, just the entertaining side, and I really thought he was going to go for that destroyer in that ladder. I was like, oh shit, he's going to do it that ladder. And of course, we did see the chop and the damn ring post and everything. And then, of course, the paradigm shift and then the Death Rider. You had to do both of them. And then we'll get
it's the same move, ladies and gentlemen. One's just a little higher than the other one.
One's a little elevated.
One's just 3 inches taller.
Man, look, the casual fans are going to be
you motherfuckers. You think you can do this to me?
Come on. You're doing it to them. Let them enjoy it. Let them enjoy it. It's like a fucking
It's like the difference between the Walls of Jericho and the Mind. It's like it's not different.
Puts a little knee on it. It's a different move.
Yeah, it's a different move. Like, oh my god, he's going for the super one. It's like a fucking arcade game, man. Let him enjoy it, man.
Yo, that Lion Tamer when it was in the NWO versus WCW Revenge.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that shit was awesome. And you hear the crunching noise, like
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Oh,
the game was fire.
Oh, before we get into the aftermath of what happened, let's get into this match first, and then we can jump on the match. Director, take it away. Floor is yours.
Yeah. I love, if you didn't notice, Moxley legit didn't know how to get to the ring.
I noticed that. That was an extra long entrance.
Yeah, he went to the bullpen. He went to the box office. He went to the third base coach. He's like, how the fuck do you get into this place?
Very Sandman-like entrance.
Yeah, fuck. Well, at least he was drunk and had an excuse.
Right?
It was a good match. They obviously definitely held back a lot. It was a little bit shorter than I think a better match would have been. I think the ending came a little spammy. It was very quick. It was the closest, almost beautiful. It was definitely a 3 count, I swear to God, after that package pile driver that Moxley took. But then he just gets up and hits 2 Death Riders or whatever. I'm like, he almost no-sold that package pile driver after the closest finish. I may not have liked that. It wasn't really wasn't like a story to the finish.
Yeah.
But I know that the story was the aftermath, which was MJF coming out, stopping the Firm from busting ass, firing Stokely, and then them turning on him, taking that stiff choke slam from the heavens into the table from Morrison or Morrissey. I don't know. Where do you want me to go? Because I got opinions.
Well, let's talk about the match. This is the match first, and then we'll get into the aftermath.
Cool. So then I'll stop right there.
Okay, cool. Dinero, take it away on the match.
The matchup was really good. I always thought that I was surprised that this is the first time they had a one-on-one matchup in AEW because I always thought that this would be a cool matchup, and they delivered. It was a really cool matchup, good chemistry between the two. But I do agree, like with Chris, like it was a little weird that John Moxley basically popped up after a pop-up after the pile driver.
Yeah, it was such a close 3 count too. Like I watched that. I'm like, I think the ref was a little late on, or so I think Moxley was a little late on the pull up on the shoulder.
Yeah, no, it looked really, really close. And the thing is, it's like that's the one thing with Pentagon matches. I'm a huge Pentagon fan, right? But the only thing is he has so many pile driver style like moves that you have a lot of kickouts out of these pile drivers. It takes away from the pile driver. I remember when the pile driver was one of the most devastating moves in wrestling, and now it's like just another setup move, and that's kind of
I mean, Storm Zero used to not be a pile driver, right? It used to be, was it like her Tiger Driver? Or was that something else? Because she never just
I believe so.
Tiger driver.
She never used to just do a straight pile driver and call it the Storm Zero. I don't think. I think it used
that was
to be
the Stardom. She never did it on WWE because they wouldn't allow pile drivers.
Right. So she would do like Storm Zero 97 or something like that.
Yeah, that was back
I hate it as a
days.
pure pile driver. So I don't like that Tony Storm just does it and renamed it. She doesn't do anything special to it. Where at least with Pentagon, he hits the package on it, which I like.
Yeah. I think that, it with that being, what it is, like that, there's been so many instances of like just popping up after a pile driver in AEW. I feel like this matchup was needed because it kind of, takes away from what happened last week in the main event with Hangman. This is the second week in a row that John Moxley's defending the title. And at least here we had a really good matchup and not a matchup that was cut short due to like an injury. I thought this was like a good way to make up for that.
Yeah.
Indeed. Now let's get into the aftermath. The aftermath, of course, we did see the Firm. Before, of course, Stokely, we saw he came out with of course, during the MJF segment. And then, of course, MJF was, brushing him off in the beginning. Hey, you better do not touch Moxley. If not, I will fire your ass. I want him fresh for Full Gear. Too bad it happened. After the aftermath, the Firm came out and attacked John Moxley. And I was like, where the hell is Penta? He just left that quick? Like, good call. They took you right away, buddy.
Yeah. So this is your problem. I'm out.
Yeah, but este estúpido. Ni es el mío, cabrón. Se lo miedo, puto. I'm pretty sure
he had fear that night.
Yeah,
he had some fear. He was like, fuck this shit. I'm out.
Oh, man. And then of course... Oh yeah, I'm gonna get to that. Yes, you read it's right there. It's right there, Devin. I'm gonna get to that. And this is where of course we did see MJF coming out. Oh, I told you, do not hurt him. You know what? You're fired. You're fucking fired. You can't hear that he said the F word, but they were trying to as much as not make sure the audio didn't catch it too much. And then that's where he took that boot from Morrissey very hard. I was like, oh shit, I didn't expect that. And Ethan Page. Ooh, I'd love to see an Ethan Page and MJF match.
Yeah, that matchup is what I'm excited for.
Yeah, I think I would love to see that match. Please don't be making a squash, man. Make it a fucking match. I really want to see that because I want to go fucking. Because you got two of the best charismas in the business that it could going at it. Oh, I fucking love that. And then we see Morrissey choke slamming MJF through the table and ending it out. But here's the question. I mean, Devin asked for it too. And is this a work? And I'm gonna save myself because I want to get to you guys. Ooh. So do you all think AEW is telegraphing the MJF swerve?
I mean, shit, if this was all a plan, that's a lot of offense that MJF took from these guys. Like, he took a nasty big boot to the face. He took a nasty razor's edge. And then that chokeslam through the table was fucking stiff as hell, like Chris said. So it's like, all this just to swerve Moxley? I don't know. Like, I can't see MJF as a true babyface. Like, I always see him as a tweener. If anything, like, if he got any close to a babyface, he would be a tweener. But I don't think that, I don't know. He took a big ass whipping to just say, oh, it was all a plan the whole time. We got you, Moxley. You know what I mean? Like, I can't see that happening. Even though that would be right in MJF's playbook. To get his ass beat like that, though.
I mean, this guy did it.
Oh, son of a bitch. What? It's me, Austin. It was me all along, Austin.
That guy's a fucking psychopath.
No, he fucking did it. He got his ass whooped by the Undertaker in the Ministry. Why did the fucking MJF can do the same thing?
But he did it to get to Stone Cold Steve Austin. John Moxley is no Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I said that, Frank. I said it last week on the show. I said it. I marked it down. Go back and look at episode 124. I said that Regal's going to turn on the BCC, dismantle it. Regal joins with fucking MJF. That's
you
what
said it here. You said it on ACW. Yeah, you got me thinking that that's going to happen too.
Mm-hmm. Especially with, well, you want to put it back up? Yeah, I'll put it back up. There you go. I said it. But yes. Oh my God. Because remember, MJF said during that interview, he's like, I'm not going to use my ring. You know, so I was like, oh, wait, okay. Let me see. Here's that ring. It's not going to be using that brass ring. You probably might see Regal probably give it to you here. I'm going to do it. Like, I wish I could have that Dark Sidious. Do it. But I think that might happen. I don't know, man. But
Did you hear Regal talking about MJF on his podcast? On Regal's podcast?
I didn't hear what did he say?
He said MJF only had like 52 matches in his AEW career. Regal had 52 matches in his first month in ring. And he said that's why MJF always was going to be a wanker to him.
So about dinner, we want to. I mean, is it a work or not? What do you think?
I mean, I could see MJF still pulling out heel tactics, and I could see the whole thing with Regal happening. I could see this becoming like a tag team match, and MJF walks out on Moxley, but I don't think that he's going to be in conjunction with the firm. I think that he will be feuding with the firm because, like I said, you can't attack somebody like that just to, pull the wool over someone's eyes. Like, they beat the shit out of him. That was a big ass beating. And I just want to say, like, something I said last week, if you guys remember, what I thought would make AEW better would be more like cliffhanger endings. And this was a cliffhanger ending. This is exactly what I was talking about. Leave us with something to talk about after the show instead of just, having a matchup and then that's it. You have the main event and the show goes off the air. This is something that's going to make you want to tune in next week. So kudos to AEW for doing that. I don't think this is going to be a swerve. I think that MJF is so popular right now, they cannot deny the fact that the fans don't want to boo him. So what do you do with that? You can't keep on trying to shove down a heel character down their throats. You can't force them to boo him. So embrace it. The fans love him. Embrace it. We might get a babyface MJF.
I mean, let's get into what it was.
It's devil worshippers.
Right here, the jump for the ring. What Frank said, MJF will not use the ring on Mox. MJF tries to use it. Regal takes it away from MJF, turns to Mox, hits him 1, 2, 3, kind of protect Mox in a way. He disappears, and MJF has his title run with major heat. And end segment drag into a limo of okay. All right. Go ahead, Director. The floor is yours in this one.
No, he had it. That's exactly what it is. Read between the lines. MJF literally said, I will not use the Dynamite Diamond Ring in the match. I will not use it. That's all he had to say. As soon as he said that, it confirmed everything I thought. I think he's not above taking that beating from the firm. And whether or not they're involved in the future angle, I wouldn't give a shit. They don't have to be, but it would be cool to, not cool, but like he's always surrounded himself with henchmen. So what makes sense for the MJF character, he said he fired Stokely. He didn't fire the rest of the guys in the team. So he might take over in that role. But yeah, to me, it's as clear as a goddamn day that MJF is going to ride off into the hellish sunset with Regal and that belt. And I will love it because I want him to get Jesse the Body Ventura 1981 levels of heat. I want him to get soda cans thrown at his fucking head because I love him so much. Maybe not soda cans, but like the cups, like when the outsiders, please don't throw cans. Cups are cool. I want that. I want that level of suspended disbelief that you genuinely forget that he's playing a character and you hate him, like Billy Graham, like Piper, like Mr. Perfect. Billy Graham style. And he can do it, and he's going to do it. Just give it till November, 17th? Give it a month.
Wait, the pay-per-view's on November 12th.
Whatever, that's what I meant. That's the 17th, that was half right.
Tomato, right?
Yeah, right. That's what I want. That's it's all red hair. It's all very obvious red herrings to me as well, where it's like they want you to think this, but they're doing that. Like,
Yeah.
There's no reality where MJF is a good guy in that character. He's put too much work in to his mic work, into his persona to just be like, you guys like me now? Like, no.
I mean, he doesn't have to be like that. I mean, look at The Rock. The Rock was a cool, good guy who still talks shit about everybody that he went against. And Stone Cold Steve Austin was still a good guy. He still talks shit about everyone.
Being the most hated bad guy first.
And so MJF was the most hated bad guy last year.
I don't think that he's reached the peak of that yet, though.
Yeah.
So, okay. So you're saying that MJF has not reached that peak of that level yet?
I don't think MJF has hit his volcanic uprising of heat yet.
I think he's the best heel in the business, right?
No,
and
absolutely.
I
But
think
get better. He's going to be even more.
I think he could get better, but I also think that
I don't think there's going to be
just because he goes babyface doesn't mean he won't go heel again. You know,
anybody cheering him right now is too many people, and he's going to make sure of that. I promise.
I would love to see him stay as a heel. Like, I feel like he's like the last true heel in wrestling, and I just want the crowd, like, I want him to get a real heel reaction, like you're talking about, like the crowd loving him like they do right now. That's what's making it like real blurry, and that's what's like blurring the lines. I want him to get that real heel heat because he plays the heel so perfectly, and he knows how to just shit on the fans and make them really like, I don't know, he knows how to make people react. And right now, just because he was gone so long and he's a cool part of AEW, no matter what he does, he's going to get cheered. He pushed down Tony Schiavone and he still got cheered. So it's like, what do I have to do to be a heel?
Or you can do more.
Damn, this could go anywhere, to be honest. It could go in so many different directions, how you could book this.
Yeah.
Good that point that MJF could be like The Rock. That attitude that The Rock had when he barely turned into a face, if you remember. Because he wasn't, in the beginning when he turned face, he wasn't that, throughout later on in his career being cool and shit. He was really more like a smirk, how you mentioned. That's a good point on that. Yes, Regal turning heel.
I want that, and I see that happening. I would love that.
Yeah, me too. And that's what I see. I see the dismantle of the BCC. We're seeing it already. It's more like a tease. Director made a valid point. When he said he's not using the ring right there, we all had us thinking it could happen to that point that this is the dismantle of the BCC and that's it. It's over. That could be the case. Moxley goes on vacation. You have Claudio being with Wheeler, the only two. Brian is going to be a lone wolf. Doesn't want to be with anybody because he's maybe be the same as Garcia. Who knows? And then with this situation, with Regal turning, but then what do you do? Like, you have Regal. Are you gonna make you? My fear is and something tells me that it could happen. That happens with Regal turning heel, going with MJF. You're gonna see Regal being the next fucking Paul Heyman of like the fucking tribal chief. That's what I feel that we're gonna see. You get it? Because then you're gonna have now one, but Regal doesn't need to speak. Regal could talk to the mic, but MJF doesn't need someone to speak for him. Neither does Roman. Roman already developed his fucking skills. I'll give him credit where credit's due.
It's like CM Punk when he was with Paul Heyman. CM Punk didn't know one to speak for him.
Yeah, he didn't need Paul Heyman. I feel like it's the same. It's like you don't need Regal to be your guy. I feel MJF should just be the devil himself, how he said, I fucking got everybody. And let's just say he made a deal. Regal made the deal with the devil, and then Regal fucking walks off and never come back. Or I don't know. Anything could happen. There's so many ways you could really go with this storyline. It got us invested in how are we, how this is going to be at full gear. The outcome is the biggest question. We're all predicting it that we're seeing Regal could be the one.
The storyline was that Regal was supposed to help MJF get him into WWE. So what if the ultimate heel turn is Regal turns on Moxley and says, now you're ready, and gives him a WWE contract?
Oh my God. Won't that be the fucking swerve of a fucking lifetime?
If you could pull that off in 2024, that would probably work. But right now, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Fantasy booking in a fantasy world that doesn't exist.
Yes, so much fantasy booking, man. I tell you that. Tranquilo. Tranquilo. Like, I'll
You hold the nail for me?
Now hold that nail.
I don't think so, Tim.
There you go.
There you are.
I'm wearing the flannel, damn it. I'll board him. That's right. Chris Kennedy is my Tim Taylor right there.
Who's the neighbor who behind the fence?
Wilson.
Was like, yep.
Wilson,
man.
We'll stay down here.
Oh, man. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for another great 125, a spectacular episode here, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, don't forget, once again, buy your merch. Buy it now because it's available for limited until after the holidays. Get your own t-shirt, get your merchandise. Make sure, go to our Linktree bio, purchase that wonderful Halloween design and courtesy of Mrs. De Niro. And while you're out for other products there, of course, the t-shirts, and of course you have the shorts, you have the chanclas, you have of course the cup, and the coffee mug. Chanclas, especially the chanclas, especially because you want to, chanclazo your BF, your boyfriend or your son. When I act smart, there you go. Instead of a belt, use a chancla. Back in the days, that's what we want to use right there.
With the way Chris is positioned with the shirt right under him, it looks like he's testing it and putting it.
He's
he's modeling the Circle Debate shirt.
That's right. He is modeling.
Taking my arms and my neck in the same.
Oh man, I can see him with the shorts. I can tell you that. I could definitely see him with the shorts.
Yeah,
and Wrestling Delorean merchandise coming soon to the Circle Debate.
Oh, it's coming, but be careful. Beware. But it will be coming. It will be definitely coming. And of course, do not forget to follow Faith Destroyed once again. Make sure that you follow them. Make sure you keep an eye on their updates for any upcoming shows, but especially for November 11th for the new hit that there will be taken out along with the music video. Make sure follow the director. It's on the Linktree, Faith Destroyed. You can follow them right there on our Linktree bio. You can follow them there, and they'll give you anything that is coming up, and also buy their merch as well, as they have fantastic merch as Faith Destroyed as well. Yeah. But director, any upcoming shows, anything coming up after this music video at this late?
No.
There you go.
You'll know what I know.
I know. I know Chris is the music man of the podcast, but I actually have a new song that's coming out tomorrow. So yeah,
thank you for coming out.
Thank you so much for tuning in, my brother. I love you, man. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you, Frank.
Appreciate you, Frank. Yes, sir.
But yeah, new song coming out tomorrow, Ant the Giant featuring Lords of Gotham, called In My Zone. I was just told that he's dropping it tomorrow. That's why I just found out myself. But
damn, all right. I'll do a review. I'll share it. Send me all the information, man. Send it all.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Promo photos, links, whatever.
Sounds good. I appreciate that. Most definitely. So tomorrow, all streaming platforms, In My Zone, Ant the Giant featuring my rap group, Lords of Gotham. So check that out.
Cool. That's right. And here's a little clip.
This ain't a song, but this is very vulgar.
Niggas acting tough in the hood till the wolves come. Bitches let it drink in the club till the wolves come. Surrounded by the sheep in the street till the wolves come. Everyone strip on the floor. We the wolves done.
Who could fuck with De Niro? I got a Snyder extender clip, so who wanna play hero? Go bad shit like Ozzy, I was born in the darkness. Oh, you the wolf, so we pull up and you're harmless. So pray to Allah, the Don Dada, the top shotter, the top spot, final boss you cross, that's when your ride stop. Basquiat with that white chalk, triggers, finger streaks, while leave your brains on the sidewalk.
Niggas acting tough.
Ooh!
I don't know if it was StreamYard that was like slowing it down like that, but it's not really like that.
Why would you leave the brains on the sidewalk, man? Damn.
There's another side of me people don't know.
I know. And don't forget, of course, Wrestling Delorean Podcast every Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I know De Niro's been busy as of late, but he'll be back with you guys with another one. It's, I like this one too. Hell yeah! DeLorean is coming back tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Big episode tomorrow. We got the the booker and owner of BCW Wrestling in New Jersey, who has hired me to be their backstage interviewer. And for the anniversary show, it has been officially announced, me and Kofi Wheatston will be doing live commentary for their anniversary show. So definitely check out BCW Wrestling. Buy tickets if you're in the tri-state area for this Sunday. I believe it's called the Grand Dragon Tournament. So definitely check out BCW.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure Wrestling Delorean Podcast will be back in action, be coming up for that soon. And how he mentioned it, make sure. And for everybody out there, enjoy your Halloween. We'll be back tomorrow, hopefully with a top 5, but we're doing a double show. Top 5 and New Japan show, because we got to get caught up with New Japan coming up next week with the November 5th show, as well as coming up for Crown Jewel, the predictions. And also, for the first time, Circle Debate will be having our live watch-along of Crown Jewel. So I'll be up at 8 in the morning with my cup of coffee and watching along. Joining me will be Devin, of course, the tribal chief of podcasting from Clark Street. Of course, TK, the real TK from the Wrestling Index podcast. Nick Dieterding from the Universal Wrestling Podcast will be joining me as well. And hopefully the director or anybody else want to enjoy the lovely morning. In a lovely morning of watching Crown Jewel on the cock, watching it along live together and see this Brock Lesnar, Bobby Lashley, Roman, and Logan Paul. So we're going to give our predictions for that next week. And yeah, I'm stoked. Very, very stoked. We got a lot of content coming up next week. The PCW Ultra this past Friday. So stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe, follow us right below the description. But got to get the Autobots.
Autobots, transform and roll out.
Yes, we're just very quick to our social media platforms. Are listening on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, Spreaker, Bullhorn. Very quick Spanish. Muchas gracias por todo el apoyo y todo el soporte a toda Latinoamérica de Circo Debate y a Wrestling Delorean Podcast y a Faith Destroyer. No se olvide de suscribir a nuestro canal ahí abajo del link que miran en la descripción. Síguenos y cada capítulo cada jueves, igual como Wrestling Delorean de lunes, miércoles a viernes. También capítulos de ellos. Y también sigue a la banda porque el director con el Fate Destroy, siguen a la de ellos porque van a tener su video de música que va a salir en noviembre 11. No se olvide de suscribir también a ellos. Tienen música bien y con energía y les sigues a ellos, por favor. Y saludos a México, Salvador, Nicaragua, Colombia, Dominicana Republic, Cuba, Italia. Buongiorno, because now we got, Italy listen to us, of course. And shout out to the Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam, who are listening to us as well. Fiji, Czech Republic, all around Europe, Switzerland, UK, Canada, of course, here in the US. Thank you so much. And European listeners, Guten Tag, Miguel Castillos, that's good. Shoes. We love you guys for listening to us. Thank you. I don't know what time it is over there, but you guys are listening to us, man. It's fantastic. I love you guys. This is why we do it. This is why the director's here. Why did Eros here myself? Because you guys keep us going. We're 125 in. We've got a lot more to go. We're not stopping because of you guys are listening to our content. We appreciate you guys for everything what you guys do for us. De Niro, any last words you have to say?
I'm going to go take this makeup off because I got work in a couple hours.
I got work right now, so I am outie. Jeez.
Nah, take care, Chris. Chris always has the best exits. But yeah, most definitely, make sure you hit that subscribe button because we have a lot of content coming out on this channel, not just Wrestling Delorean Podcast every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, not just Circle of Debate every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, but we got vlogs, we have live watch-alongs, we have interviews, and a whole lot more coming. So make sure you hit that subscribe button because there's a lot of great content coming out. And you just want to support the best channel out there right now. So make sure you are part of the plan. You're a part of the team. You're a Wrestling DeLorean passenger. You're a great debater. Make sure that you're down with the revolution. Hit that subscribe button. Happy Halloween, everyone.
Happy Halloween, everybody. Enjoy it. Feliz Día de los Muertos. Feliz Halloween a todos, señoras y señores. Muchas gracias.
Watch out for those razor blades inside of the candy bars.
Yeah, and those fentanyl too on those candies too, because they got caught up. So, for everybody who has children, check those candies. Make sure, you know, if they don't look good, don't try them. Throw them away. Protect your children, guys. Be safe out there. Be careful out there. Scary world right now. This is, you know, be careful when you guys trick or treating. All of you guys, be safe. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, the host, Stevie's one. I've received my other host, of course, the Mr. Legion of Doom, the Legion of De Niro. That's right. What a rush. What a rush. One more time before he goes, because I have to play it. Jesus, let's see.
What a rush.
That's all I can do. YouTube will call me. But yes, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. To all the League of Extraordinary Podcast, to all the Wolf Pack as well, we thank you guys. We love you guys. All of them, they don't just do podcasting as well as the Wrestling Delorean Podcast, the Circle Debate, but we fucking make history. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Must bid you adieu, a goodbye, mwah, and good night. Oh my God, it's so great. Bang! Yes!